The auction owner grabbed my wrist and called me a stupid girl playing detective in front of a crowd after I proved his $2 million Shelby was a forgery. When I confronted him with the original VIN records, he smirked and said, "You're not important enough to ruin me." I didn't say a word. That was 11 months ago. Yesterday, he tried to lunge at his own son in court and collapsed in his wheelchair, screaming my name. My grandfather restored Shelbys in his garage for 40 years before Parkinson's took his hands. Everything I know about muscle cars, I learned watching him work. So when I spotted the listing for a 67 GT 500 at the Lakewood Classic auction, I drove 6 hours just to see it in person. The moment I walked in, heads turned. Not because anyone recognized me, because I was 24, female, and wearing work boots instead of loafers. The owner, Vincent Castellano, was holding court near the Shelby when I approached. Silver hair, expensive watch, the kind of smile that expects you to smile back. "Looking for your boyfriend, sweetheart?" he asked, loud enough for his circle of collectors to hear. "Looking at the rivets," I said, crouching near the fender. "They're wrong." The laughter died. "Excuse me?" Ford used 3/16 dome head rivets in '67. These are 1/4 inch hex heads. They didn't exist until 1974. Vincent's face went red. He grabbed my wrist hard enough to bruise and yanked me upright. "Listen here, you stupid girl playing detective. I've authenticated cars longer than you've been alive. Then you should know this VIN belongs to a car that burned in Riverside in 1972. I pulled out my phone and showed him the insurance photos my grandfather had kept. Same serial number. Charred frame, unmistakable. He released my wrist and laughed, but his eyes were calculating. "Even if you're right, which you're not important enough to ruin me." I didn't argue. I just left. What Vincent didn't know was that my grandfather had kept records of every Shelby he'd ever worked on. 40 years of documentation. When I got home, I started cross-referencing. That one fake Shelby connected to 12 more. Same rivet mistakes. Same VIN inconsistencies, same restoration shop in Nevada that Vincent's brother owned. I spent 3 months building the case, every fake trace back to Castellano auctions, every forged certificate signed by Vincent himself. The FBI knocked on his door in February, but the real destruction came from his own family. His son Marcus had been keeping records too, not to expose his father, to protect himself when the inevitable happened. Emails showing Vincent threatening to cut him off if he didn't help forge documents. Recordings of Vincent bragging about collector idiots who can't tell a reproduction from a restoration. At the preliminary hearing, Marcus took the stand. He looked at his father and said, "I have 47 emails where you told me how to fake VIN stamps." Vincent tried to stand from his wheelchair. His face was purple. His hands were shaking. "You ungrateful." He lunged toward the witness stand. He made it 2 steps before his legs gave out. The oxygen tank crashed. The courtroom froze. And as the paramedics worked on him, I heard it clearly. My name. Over and over. Screamed like a curse. He survived. Barely. The trial proceeded with him in a hospital bed, connected via video link. 41 counts of fraud, 23 victims, over 12 million in fake sales. The jury deliberated for 4 hours. Guilty on all counts. The judge gave him 18 years. With his heart condition, everyone knows what that means. Last week, I got a letter on prison stationery. Shaky handwriting. 3 pages of excuses about how the industry forced him to cut corners. How I destroyed a legacy built over decades. The last line, "I hope you're proud of yourself." I didn't write back, but I did frame it. It's hanging in my new office at Barrett Jackson, right next to my grandfather's photo. Some legacies deserve to be destroyed.